Check. Ooh. All right, everybody. What time is it right now? Is it time to go? 9 turtles, everybody? All right. How's everybody feeling today? Yeah, you guys are feeling ready to be inspired? Yeah, to be pissed off? To show that anger against our beloved cast members, by the way. You guys are ready? Thank you guys so much for being here at our beloved Iolani Palace. So we're gonna, my name is Iulai. I'll be your narrator today, and I have my partner in crime, Brother Imai Kalani Winchester. Imai, please step up, brother. This is one of my modern heroes right here today.
E o umau ki ai mai ka pō mai, e nana ia mai ka hale o kākou, mai luna lalo, mai ka hiki a ka hiki, mai ka hiki nā kumohana, mai uka i kai, mai loko a waho, ki ai ia, malama ia, e pale aku i nā ho'opile ki ane ko kākou no Honolulu, a mama, ua no ei. Aloha kākou. Aloha kākou. Aloha kākou! Ua mau ke ea o ka aina I ka pono. Say it. Ua mau ke ea o ka aina I ka pono. Say it. The great motto of our chief Kaui Keoli Kamehameha III, who at the establishment in 1843 of our great and modern nation, the nation of Hawaii. And during this time, under great duress, the son of the great conqueror, Kana'i Ahupua, Kamehameha Ekolu Kaui Keoli, was forced into uncomfortable positions. But through the brilliance, through the tactfulness, through the strategy of nation building, Kaui Keoli was able to secure for our people this land, to secure for our people our future, to secure for our children an inheritance that cannot be taken away. And we are here to remember that inheritance. We are here to share the mo'olelo of our great nation in celebration with Hawaii's first national holiday, Kala. Ho'i ho'i ea. All Hawaiian people in the house say Kala ho'i ho'i ea. Nice and loud. Kala ho'i ho'i ea. Nice and loud. Kala ho'i ho'i ea. For a short time, as was described, Hawaii was under illegal occupation by the British. And after 5 long months, after the Hawaiian flags were lowered throughout the entire kingdom and the British Union Jack was raised, Hawaiians for a time did not exercise authority over their lands, but it was by the wisdom and tactfulness of Kaui Keoli Kamehameha III, who utilized diplomacy. It wasn't just literacy, pala pala, it was constitutions, it was treaties, it was rights, it was privileges, and Kaui Keoli secured our future through these tools. And as Hawaiians, as we reclaim our language, as we reclaim our identity, as we reclaim our culture, we also seek always to be whole. And if we are to be whole again, if we are to be full again, if we are to live again, we must understand who we are and where we come from. And our nation, our lahui, our aupuni ku'oko'a, is an important part of the remedy that will lift our people from the oppression, as Dr. Kekuni Blaisdell foresaw many decades ago. That the celebration of who we are as a people is a part of the important medicine that we need to heal ourselves. And so we heal ourselves today through mo'olelo, through truth, through justice, through pono. And we remember the great words, the great motto of our King. The great motto that surrounds these palace walls. The motto that was appropriated by the illegal state of Hawaii. The motto that calls us to remember that the life, sovereignty of this great nation is forever embedded into our aina. And we are not Kanaka without aina. We are not Kanaka without aina. And so, e o umau maka aina na poe, hiki ke lohe mai I ka leo. E nawe mai. E nawe mai. It is time to move. It is time to build. It is time to celebrate that we are here, that we remember, and that we will never give up our lahui. No laila. I want to say mahalo. Thank you to each and one of you families, each and one of you members of the cast who have come out year and year and year to raise the high, to fly your flag, to velo kahai nani o Hawaii. We all together, the nani o Hawaii. May we always continue to fly. May we always continue to inspire. May we always continue to shine light, pierce through the darkness, and bring us home. Just like the great wayfinders of old. May Ahupuni ku'oko'a, casting the stars above us, guide us home. E ho'i mai. E ho'i mai. E ho'i mai. No laila, me yamanao, he leo aloha ke ia o ko pakahi a pau, he leo ho'i pai ke ia, he leo ho'o hano ke ia, he leo ho'o manao ke ia, e ho'o laulea pū ka ko, me ke kahi, I ke kahi, no ke kahi, I ke kahi, na ke kahi, na ke kahi. No laila. In these days, our history roots us. But we continue like these mighty trees to stretch, to grow, and to reach beyond. And so today, I call us here to stand. Stand up. Where you at right now, please? I want you to stand where you are in your place. I want you to raise your fist in the air. I want you to imagine that you're holding a 100-foot Hawaiian flag. Velo kahai nani o Hawaii. Repeat after me. Velo kahai nani o Hawaii. Velo kahai nani o Hawaii. Velo kahai nani o Hawaii. Forever may the Hawaiian flag raise. Forever may it sit over our independent country. And today we respond and we shout with resonance. E mo ke ea o ka aina I ka pono, say it. E mo ke ea o ka aina I ka pono, say it. E mo ke ea o ka aina I ka pono. Towards pono, my friends. Towards balance. Towards peace. Not just for Hawaii, but for all humankind. Aloha aina for all people of this world. Aloha defeated the strongest military in the world. And aloha will continue to guide us home to our kingdom. No laila. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Iolani Winchester. Please, on July 26th, we invite you all to join us at the oldest public park in the Hawaiian Kingdom, the first public park in the Hawaiian Kingdom, Thomas Square, named after the admiral who ceremoniously returned Hawaiian sovereignty. So join us on July 26th. Thousands of Hawaiians, several generations, all come together, all to celebrate unity, solidarity, hope, power. E a kako.
Mahalo, Iulai. All right, everybody. Whew. If you guys wasn't inspired by that mana, Leo, I don't know what is. But mahalo nui, everybody, for being here. So we're going to start the protocol. We're going to have the blowing of the pū by Kulia Thomas and Makanoi Hufana. We're going to do the four corners and one to the levelanis. And then the opening oli will be, and the protocol will be done, will be conducted by Kamaehu Kunukau and Keala Ho'ohuli.
Okay, nawe loka hi Ahupuni olo kamana ha akukulana ahonu ilana ki e mai na Hawaii no ke alo kamenui e mai ke leu na pua na le na mamu me klaui laula ko lana o mai kleu ha ahe o Hawaii aku ai ano ai ki aloha
I ke au li ka aina, I ke au haki ka lehua, o ka lai o ka u, oia ka papa honua, o ka lai o ka u, helele I ka waimaka, ha'alele he lau o nā wa'a I ka moana uli, ha'alele nā wa'a no Hawaii nui, Hawaii ki, Hawaii loa, Hawaii poko. Ua hui ka lala lehua o ka moana uli. Me ka lala lehua o Hawaii a māmau. He moku, he aina, he vai ka maha o ke ia. Ka aina I a ai ka lala lehua o ka moana uli. E ulu na keuleu, e ulu na keikeina, e ulu ka papa aina o Hawaii ne. E o Hawaii! Okay, aloha everybody. Right now we're going to open it up if anybody has any ho'okupu that they would like to bring. So if you have any, please come to me and my brother over here. We will gladly accept them.
Sorry. Pai lima yao ko. Woo. Gotta stand between the speakers. Mahalo everybody. Pai lima yao ko once again for kama ehu kunukau and kialo ho'ohuli, as well as our pukani Kulia Thomas and Makanoi Hufana. Mahalo everybody. All right everybody. So we're gonna start this reenactment. It's historical, as accurate as we can, a reenactment of what happened here on our beloved steps of Iolani Palace, July 4th, 1894. But before we do this, oh yeah. Before we do that, I'm gonna call up the one, the only, I'm sorry, call up my Auntie Noino Silva, the professor, Dr. Noino Silva. She's gonna come up and do a segue before we start our reenactment, and then I'm gonna call the cast members up to introduce themselves to the lahui, so you guys can go hard on them, but still go love them, okay? All right, so let's all welcome Dr. Noinoi Silva, everybody.
As Noinoi makes her way to the stage, it was important to us to take this time. For many of us who have been a part of this presentation, may or may not know that this script was actually written by Tom Kaufman. Tom Kaufman, who for many years has written history. Noinoi Silva is also a prestigious historian herself, a political scientist, very important and critical in the finding and the returning of the Ku'e petitions in the late 90s. And the reason why many of us today can find our families was because of the important work that was done decades ago by important kumu, such as Dr. Noinoi Silva here today. I, as a young, impressionable, maybe a hot-headed student, had a moment to take classes from her. But we are very, very pleased and very welcome, once again, with a big round of applause. Let's welcome Dr. Noinoi Silva.
Aloha na kini na mamo ka aina aloha. Aloha na ho aloha paui a ko mai I ane I ke ala. Ka mea mua he mahalo, mahalo I na akua, na aumakua, na kupuna. I mean, na poe aloha aina who have gathered here so many times in the past. And mahalo for these organizers and the beautiful protocol and the beautiful introduction. E Imai, mahalo nui. As Imai said, I've been asked, and I'm honored to say a few words of tribute and gratitude about our dear friend and ally, Tom Kaufman, who has left us a moi kaua ho'oilo. I mourn his passing. It seems too soon. So I'm grateful that the organizers of Theft of a Nation are including this time to commemorate his contributions to the history and struggles of our lahui. I would like to begin with the sage words of Stephen Deshay Jr., penned in 1928 as the Olohe Ike Hawaii, the Kanaka intelligentsia of that time, were observing the harmful effects of a generation of Kanaka raised in English language schools with American curriculum. In a column in his new pepa titled, Kama'olelo o ko aina oiwi, he exhorted the opio, o ka pa'ao kama'olelo, pili I ko aina, a me ko'ola la hui ana, a pa'apu no ho ia oi, e ka eve Hawaii. Na mo'olelo o ke kahi mau aina o ko'a aku, he mau kahua mai ka'i loa ia no kou kulana, e paio aku ai, ma na hana kalai aina, ma luna o kou aina kulaiwi, which I interpret roughly like this. To know the history of your Aina and your national life, along with the history of other lands, my dear Ewe Hawaii, is to have an excellent foundation on which to stand, to fight the political fights on and over and for your birthland. This wisdom is even more true today than it was in 1928, and Tom Kaufman, journalist, historian, and documentary filmmaker, dedicated his long career to assisting us Kanaka and everyone else in Hawaii to learn our histories and fight our good fights. Star Advertiser columnist Dave Shapiro, who knew Tom since the 1960s, wrote, quote, his books and documentary films told not only of the politics that shaped Hawaii, but the stories of its people and their cherished environment. He shined a probing light on injustices suffered by Native Hawaiians and heroic fights against prejudice by local Japanese and their allies. This is quite apt, but I would refocus it this way. Tom's work did two important things for our Lahui that I would not articulate as illuminating the injustices our people have suffered. Rather, first, in his historical work, he exposed the greed for wealth and power, the duplicity and the hypocrisy of the people who overthrew our queen and then created laws that allowed them to steal the Aina and Vai of our Aina Aloha. Second, he supported our events and struggles directly. As Imai just said, he wrote the script for today for the reenactment. He also wrote the script for the commemoration of Liliuokalani's death, produced by my dear friend Meliana Meyer and others. When, with Craig Howes, Meliana, and others, he envisioned and co-organized the symposium a couple of years ago, reflecting on the 1898 imperialism of the United States. And when Meliana wanted to make a film as an offering to Kia'i, protecting Mauna Kea, he co-produced that short film called Mauna Kea, Sacred Mountain, Sacred Conduct. I'd like to add my story to these examples. Sometime in 1997, while I was working on my dissertation research, and my then partner, Dori Minato-Dani, was a librarian at UH, Tom asked her if she knew anyone who could tell the Kanaka side of the story of annexation. He was working on both the book and the film, Nation Within, with a plan to release both on August 12, 1998, the centennial of the annexation ceremony here in Hawaii, which took place right here. Unlike so many other historians, he considered that Kanaka had a different experience and different stories to tell, and he pursued that knowledge. He looked for me. Of course, he didn't know it was me he was looking for. But anyway, we met. He was a truly gifted researcher and was interested in the backgrounds and the stories of the perpetrators of the overthrow, including the establishment of the republic that we're commemorating today and the illegitimate annexation. This was a side of the story I had no stomach for. I did not want to get in those archives and read about these guys. I wanted to read about what our people were doing. So I really appreciated him. We each shared our research with each other in a lovely collaboration. I learned so much from him about Sanford Dole and the others and their enduring multi-generational connections with powerful white settlers on the east coast of the US. Tom earned a grant from Pacific Islanders in Communications for the research on the film, and he shared that grant with me. In these ways, he supported the research that resulted in the story of the fight against annexation in Aloha Betrayed. Tom's film and book have helped to educate our Lahui and many other people about the ea snatching crimes of Lauren Thurston, Sanford Dole, and the whole gang of thieves. Today we mourn Tom's passing, but also celebrate his contributions and remember this hoa oia i'o mekeloha. We also mourn today the loss of our country's heir due to the thievery of the men who established the so-called Republic of Hawaii. We remember as well the Hana Vivo Ole of the Po'ealoha who saw clearly through their attempted deceptions, no fools, our kupuna, and protested in every peaceful way possible. Queen Liliuokalani and the Huialoha Aina, both women and men, sent protests and appeals for assistance to Hawaii's treaty partners, England, France, Japan, Portugal, even tried sending it to the US. Good luck. In June 1894, the women of the Huialoha Aina wrote, "We, the women of Hawaii, mothers, wives, and sisters of the Hawaiian men, whose country has been seized and whose liberty and rights are being trampled upon, have gathered in public mass meeting and organized for the purpose of preserving our national independence and obtaining the restoration of our beloved Queen Liliuokalani. Now the provisional government have been straining every effort to transform themselves into a permanent government based on the support of alien bayonets in order to proclaim an assumed republic through a constitution which is acknowledged as the most illiberal and despotic ever published." Like them, we see through the deceptions, including the current thefts of Aina and Vai. We gather and we protest in our new ways. We are their mamo. We too are Po'ealoha Aina. It is as Stephen Deshay Sr. taught 100 years ago, our history is our kahua, the foundation upon which, if we are wise, we continue the struggle for the ea of our Aina. E ola mau ka po'ealoha Aina, e mau kea o ka Aina o Hawaii nei.
Mahalo, Auntie Noinoi. I just want to reiterate what Imai was saying. Like, Auntie Noinoi had many other Kanaka that went up to Washington, D.C., went into the archives that saw the Ku'e petition. But to my understanding, she was the only one that had the ike to bring the Ku'e petition back here to Hawaii so that we all could see that our kupuna were signed in protest against annexating their country, our country, the Hawaiian Kingdom, to the United States. So please, once again, pa'ipai lima yaoko, everybody, for Auntie Noinoi Silva. All right. Thank you. And we got Auntie Miliana over here. Myers, Aluli, we love you too. So we're going to start the reenactment of Theft of a Nation, but at this time I want to call up the cast members to come up and introduce themselves and take you guys' place. And while they're coming up here, I want to give a big mahalo nui to, once again, to Auntie Lynette Cruz. Auntie, please stand, Auntie. She's the reason why we're all here today as well. If you folks don't know this lady, please make yourself known to her. She's a freaking staunch warrior that's been, and just want to thank you, Ma. And I also want to thank Root Coles. Root, can you raise your hand? Right here, Root has helped us with the hard copies and all the emails. And so, before the cast members come up, I just want to have Auntie Lynette just share some anao.
Aloha, everybody. I want to say first about Tom Kaufman. We have been doing this reenactment drama for about 10 years, and 3 years of it was incorrect. What happened when Tom came was he told us, what you're saying is not exactly true, let me help. And he rewrote the script. So the script that we use today is the one that Tom Kaufman gave us, one of the reasons why we're celebrating him today. And then I have my chair over here. I'm just going to tell you, in the last maybe 5 years, we have something called the boo section. If you feel like you want to be in that section, bring your chair and put it right in front of the stage, and you'll see what happens. Thank you.
Thanks, Ma. Round of applause, everybody, for this magnificent warrior kupuna wahine. Mahalo. Okay, so we're gonna have the cast members come up, please, and introduce yourselves. Cousin, you can stay under the tent with me, so you can go on the mic over there, cousin. Yep, yep, right there.
Oh. Ooh, aloha. I'm Star Kalahele Okalani Kalahiki. I will be portraying Queen Lili Okalani today.
Cast members.
Hello, my kako. Vau o Stephen Kulia Thomas. I will be portraying Joseph Navahi.
Aloha. My name is Kaula Vena Hashimoto, and I will be playing William Richards Castle.
Aloha kako, o Kim Koinoa Noeva Maiao. I will be portraying Albert Judd and Francis Hatch.
Aloha kako, my name is Asia Kekailoa Vang John, and today I will be playing William Owen Smith.
Aloha Aina kako, my name is Iolani. Today I'm portraying Sanford B. Dole.
Aloha o makanoia ko'uinoa o Hello Moa mai au. I will be playing John L. Stevens today.
Aloha, I'm James Maioho, and I will be portraying Lauren Thurston today.
Aloha, how's it? My name is Sean, and today I'm portraying James A. King. Boo. Boo.
Aloha mai kako, I'm Chad Hashimoto, and I'll be playing James B. Castle.
All right, everybody. How's about a rounding applause for our cast members? Okay. And so I just want everybody, thank you guys, as we're reading this script, there'll be parts that when you see me raise my hands, that's when you guys go, Ku'e, or F you, or, you know, all those kind, because, you know, our beloved cast members are portraying our enemies. So we want the crowd to listen, because these words that are being spoken by them were spoken here, July 4th, 1894. Okay? You guys got it? So when you see me raise my hand, just go, you just give them some mana over there. But anyway, all right, so we are, Paipailime everybody, we are about to start a reenactment of A Theft of a Nation. The Americans celebrate Independence Day on the 4th of July every year, commemorating the signing of the Declaration of Independence and the birth of the United States of America as an independent nation in 1776. In the Hawaiian Kingdom, July 4th marks the infamous day in 1894 when 18 months after the United States military aided a small group of insurgents in the illegal overthrow of our government, those same insurgents declared themselves the Republic of Hawaii. We observe July 4th, 1894 with a dramatic reenactment of events that occurred over a century ago at Iolani Palace. We now present to you The Theft of a Nation.
On the 16th of January, 1893, the United States military sided with the annexationists, and on the 17th, provided all military support necessary for a handful of men to commit a coup d'etat against me and my fellow citizens. These men declared themselves the provisional government and gained the immediate recognition and promise of protection from the U.S. Minister Plenipotentiary to Hawaii, declaring the constitutional government abrogated. They demanded that I surrender to them. At the threat of war against the United States of America, I yielded my authority to the United States of America for a time, pending an investigation by the U.S. President of the interference by the United States military in the internal affairs of Hawaii. President Grover Cleveland's investigator, Minister James Blunt, traveled to Hawaii, conducted his study, and reported to Cleveland, who in turn addressed both houses of the U.S. Congress. Cleveland declared, by an act of war committed with the participation of a diplomatic representative of the United States and without authority of Congress, the government of a feeble but friendly and confiding people has been overthrown. After the so-called provisional government had been recognized by Minister Stevens and I had referred in writing my case to the United States, there was no more for me to do but retire in peace to my private residence, there to await the decision of the United States government. This I did, and cautioned the leaders of my people to avoid riot or resistance, and to await tranquilly, as I was doing, the result of my appeal to the power to whom alone I had yielded my authority. It has been my endeavor in these recollections to avoid speaking evil of any person unless absolutely demanded by the exigencies of my case before the public. At this time, men were going about town with firearms. Shots were at times flying about the city, whistling through the air, or penetrating houses to the great danger of the occupants. And no one was responsible for the local disorder. Words of harm towards my person had been openly spoken by the revolutionists. Spies were in my household and surrounded my house by day and night. Spies were also stationed at the steps of the Congregational Church opposite my residence to take note of those who entered my gates, how long they remained, and when they went out. My respect for true religion prevents my stating the active part one of the preachers of God's work took in this espionage. It was under these circumstances that I prepared to visit Mr. Willis in accordance with his request.
In March of 1893, Ka'ahahui, Hawaii, Aloha Aina, the Hawaiian Patriotic League, was formed by the Honorable Mr. Joseph Navahi, together with other loyalist Hawaiians, to protect the independence of the Hawaiian Kingdom and the civil rights of its subjects. The women's branch and the men's branch of Hui Aloha Aina collected more than 21,000 signatures across the islands protesting annexation of Hawaii to the United States. The Great Petition, also known as the Ku'e Petition, helped to defeat the last lawful attempt of annexing the Hawaiian Kingdom.
Check. No kākou ke hale e like me ka nā kamehameha I kukulu ai. Ua ki paku ia ai kākou e ka poe I aia hele mai. A komo I loko o ka hale kaulei, a loko I manao ai e ke kulu iho a o nou aku ia kākou a pau e komo aku. O kau hoi o lelo aku nei, ia o kou e o mau hoa maka ai nana. Mai noho kākou a ai iki. The House of Government belongs to us, just as the Kamehamehas built it. But we were ousted by trespassers who entered our house and who are now saying to us to reside in a lay stand that they have set up and are forcing us all to enter. I am telling you, my fellow citizens, we should not agree in the least. Would they live in a lay stand?
Despite the enthusiasm the provisional government first received in the United States, the oligarchy failed to reach its goal. The Queen has succeeded in blocking annexation and generating serious doubts about the nature of the overthrow, but she failed in her attempt to reverse the situation and have the kingdom government restored. The Constitutional Convention will consist of 19 council members from the provisional government, as well as 18 delegates. A number of Native people are expected to attend, but not the Queen, nor her many supporters. The Constitution has already been drafted and will make use of the laws in the American state of Mississippi to prevent the Native and Asian immigrant population from voting. It would also include new restrictions on the freedom of speech and the press, and will not be put to the people for a vote. The stream of propaganda, the constant analysis of guns, the discussion of the Queen, all had to do with the small club of annexationists having no popular support and failing to quickly achieve annexation. There are many men who have traveled from Washington to attend the convention. They have correspondence for the past year or more and are rushing deliberations so they can celebrate. The Honorable William O. Smith, Attorney General of the Provisional Government. Raise your hand, Mr. Smith. The Honorable Oren Tsutsumi, Annexation Commissioner. Boo! Boo! You guys can boo all of them, okay? Just letting you guys know. The Honorable Albert Francis Judge, Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Boo! The Honorable Sanford B. Dole, President of the Provisional Government. The Honorable James G. Blaine, former U.S. Secretary of State under President Harrison. The Honorable William R. Castle, advisor to the Provisional Government. The Honorable John Levitt Stevens, United States Minister to Hawaii in 1893. The Honorable Francis March Hatch, Vice President of the Provisional Government. W.O. Smith, Attorney General of the Provisional Government, addresses the members.
Gentlemen, it is imperative of us to maintain ourselves as a coup d'etat government with as much veneer of democracy as possible. The problem is to combine a provisional government with as much of a representative form of government so as to meet the case. Mr. Thurston, gentlemen of the cabinet, the lengths you will go to maintain control at the expense of democracy is insurmountable. It is my duty as Attorney General to keep us all on track if we are to meet our goals.
Oren Tsutsumi, designated as the lead, addresses the members aware that they have to improve their image and institutionalize their government.
At my office in Washington, I have had excellent assistance in drafting a constitution that will allow us to shed the title of provisional government. In hundreds of ways, the mere image of having an office in D.C. works to our advantage. As I said in my letter to Dole, until the principles of government under which we live, we definitely established, we are in a state of warfare with Hawaiians, whether we are actually using gunpowder or not.
Gentlemen, as we talk about our long-term plan to hold on to power and being in a state of warfare with the Hawaiians, what are we doing about Lili Kolani? You know we cannot move forward without addressing those issues.
We realize the closeness of the tie that exists between the Hawaiians and Lili Kolani. She stands in the position of protector and mother to her people and would do anything in the world for them.
In light of the Congress's opposition to Cleveland's position, the Queen might be bought off. We can pay her $10,000 a year in return for her publicly relinquishing all claims to the throne. Gentlemen, barring that, we can ship the old lady off to Kauai.
We can't do that. This provisional government has already created an environment of fear. She is reported to have heard rumors that she was to be forcibly shipped away and killed.
Gentlemen, remember I have been with you from the beginning. Remember on January 17th, before a crowd in front of the executive building? I was there with you as the proclamation was read, deposing Queen Liliuokalani and establishing the provisional government of Hawaii.
Mr. Thurston, isn't this a plan for a no-nonsense government which puts down all opposition?
This is a radical departure from the Thomas Jefferson Declaration of Freedom of Speech Clause, prohibiting anyone from advocating restoration of the Queen. Really?
You omitted the usual trial by jury. Why?
Under our conditions, if a jury trial is required in all cases, we may get into such conditions that all trials will be a farce. The President of the Republic should be empowered to suspend the writ of habeas corpus without consulting anyone, even the cabinet.
How do we select a president? What about elections?
No elections. Under the current conditions, we are safe in putting off elections for office of the president. I name Sanford Dole president.
You are right. It is better to fight than submit any questions about the form of government to an election, especially when you state that voting is only for Anglo-Saxons and Teuton's descendants.
Yes, it is better to delay any real voting until annexation has been accomplished.
Gentlemen, whatever you may think, we should include republic in the name. The Republic of Hawaii gives it more character and distinctness than the Hawaiian Republic or similar names.
Gentlemen, I think we are finished with our business.
If we are to have the swearing in at the same time as the American steamship blows its horn in celebration, we must be adjourned.
The people of my country do not want to be annexed to the United States. Nor do the people of the United States want annexation. It is the work of 1,500 people, mostly Americans, who have settled in Hawaii. Of this number, those who are not native-born Americans are of American parentage. None of my people want the island annexed. The populations of these islands is 109,000. Of this number, 40,000 are native Hawaiians. The rest are Americans, Germans, Portuguese, Japanese, Chinese, English, and a small portion from other countries. The 1,500 Americans who are responsible for what was done today are running the affairs of the islands. 1,500 people are giving away my country.
On July 2nd, 1894, Joseph Navahi, president of the Hui Aloha Aina, and James K. Kaulia, head secretary of the Hui Aloha Aina, published in the Hawaiian language newspaper, Kaleo o Kalahui, a notice.
Halavai makaaina na nui, imua e na Hawaii, no ka pono o ko kākou aina. Great meeting of the people, forward, O Hawaiians, for the rights of your land. A great meeting of Maka'ainana will be held at Palace Square at 5 p.m. on this very day, July 2nd, 1894, to show our steadfastness in our patriotism. Hawaii's own La Hui, as well as other ethnicities who are of the same mind, are invited to go in unity and show their insistence behind the resolution that will be passed at that time. Invited are the men, the women, the Mahu, and all of the young people of the Hui Aloha Aina Hawaiian Patriotic League, and all friends to go immediately with great enthusiasm and festivity to fill the meeting with numbers of 20 and more thousand people. And provided that the Marshal of the Provisional Government has approved our meeting, therefore, we have nothing to be concerned about. Let us, however, maintain the peace.
As reported in Kaleo o Kalahui, nearly 7,000 people arrived that day. The newspaper, Hawaii Holomua, describes the scene on Palace Square where the crowd did solemnly protest against the proclamation of a republic. Ku'e! Not representing the people, not established for the benefit of the masses, but virtually made for the sole benefit of the small and insignificant clique placed in power by John L. Stevens and American troops in controversy of justice, honor, and popular will. Mr. J.O. Carter, lifelong friend, confidant, and legal advisor to Queen Liliuokalani, read the resolution protesting against the so-called republic. John E. Bush, Joseph Nabahi, and James Kaulia also spoke to the crowd and translated the resolution, which was, as reported, received with tremendous cheering by the Hawaiians.
Be it resolved that the Hui Aloha Aina and other patriotic leagues, together with loyal subjects of the Hawaiian Kingdom, in mass meeting assembled, representing by far the greater majority of the legitimate voters of this country, do hereby most solemnly protest against the promulgation of a new constitution formed without the consent and participation of the people. And we also protest against changing the form of government from the one under which we have lived peacefully and prosperously for many years, and that we maintain that the will of the majority of the legitimate voters of Hawaii should be the supreme power of the land, as such power is so recognized and accepted in all civilized countries and by all of the enlightened governments of the world.
Yo! 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 8 o'clock, hi grandson. 8 o'clock in the morning, skipping the prayer, W.O. Smith serves as master of ceremony and goes directly to swearing in of Sanford B. Dole as president of the Republic of Hawaii.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sanford B. Dole.
Dole, looking down upon the crowd, proclaims the Republic of Hawaii as the sovereign authority and throughout the Hawaiian Islands.
The movement for popular government, which has today reached such an important stage in this country, began in 1839 when Kauai Keoli, swayed by the light of the new civilization which was fast dawning upon his kingdom, surrendered his unlimited sovereign power, and proclaimed to every man the rights of life, limb, liberty, freedom from oppression, the earnings of his hands, and the production of his mind. The progress of this cause from that day has been irresistible. These have been times indeed when it seemed to slacken its pace and even to turn back on its course. But obstacles served only to give it a chance to gather its strength for a swifter advance. The Land Commission and the Great Mahalo, by which the lands of the kingdom were divided between the people, the chiefs, the government, and the king, the constitutions of 1853, 1864, 1887, and the proclamation of January 17, 1893 are the milestones along the way. Today, as we pass through the Gate Beautiful into a new realm full of promise, of hope, and of boundless opportunity, we set up another milestone, greater and grander than all that stand behind us. The end is not yet. The end is not yet. The relaxing influences of peace are more demoralizing to patriotism than the stern embracing dangers of war. Eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. There are still greater things to be done. There are achievements in free government as yet unattained to be striven for. Responses to the fast-growing claim that the poor man, the weak man, the ignorant man shall be recognized, in fact as well as in name, in the body politic. There are new milestones to be set upon heights which are yet to be gained. Let us see to it that our future is worthy of our past and of all the promise of this auspicious day, and that it shall grow there from as the tree grows from the sapling, that freedom shall never come to mean license in the vocabulary of the Republic, and that the spirit of traffic shall never invade the council chamber or the halls of legislation. And now, on behalf of the men who have carried this cause along and who have stood ready to defend it with their lives, on behalf of the women who have given it their prayers, and their husbands and sons for the benefit and protection of all the people of this country, of whatever race or name, and in gratitude to God, whose hand has led us, I, Sanford B. Dole, President of the Provisional Government of the Hawaiian Islands, by virtue of the charge to me given by the Executive and Advisory Councils of the Provisional Government and the Act dated July 3rd, 1894, proclaim the Republic of Hawaii as the sovereign authority over and throughout the islands from this time forth. And I declare the Constitution framed and adopted by the Constitutional Convention of 1894 to be the Constitution and the supreme law of the Republic of Hawaii. And by virtue of this Constitution, I now assume the office and authority of President thereof. God save the Republic!
Upon finishing his speech, Dole is given 3 rousing cheers. That's 1 cheer. 1 more cheer. One more rousing cheer. And the grand finale, 1 more great rousing cheer. To his right is John William Kalua, who translated the proclamation in Hawaiian to the crowd, which too is reportedly met with enthusiastic cheers. Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Albert Francis Judd, now administers the oath of office to the President.
Mr. Stanford B. Dole, will you please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
in the presence of Almighty God
in the presence of Almighty God
that I will support the Constitution,
that I will support the Constitution,
laws and government of the Republic of Hawaii,
laws and government of the Republic of Hawaii,
and will not, either directly or indirectly,
either directly nor indirectly,
encourage or assist in the restoration or establishment of a monarchical form of government in the Hawaiian Islands.
in the restoration or establishment of a monarchical form of government in the Hawaiian Islands.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
The band plays Hawaii Punangi while Sanford B. Dole is sworn in as president of the self-declared Republic of Hawaii, all but drowning out the voice of the Chief Justice. After many handshakes and congratulations from the crowd, an announcement is made that those who wish can take the oath of allegiance to the new republic. 300 signed that morning. Later that evening, at a celebration of the 118th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of the Independence of the United States, Kahuku Plantation founder James B. Castle reads a speech prepared for the occasion by William Nevins Armstrong, the former Attorney General under King Kalakaua.
Americans assemble here today amidst novel and serious events to make a new Declaration of Independence and of principles broader and wiser than the Declaration of 1776. To make the solemn declaration that the intelligent minority in every community have the inalienable right to good government, which they are justified in securing, holding themselves responsible only to God and their own consciences for the just and proper use of power in their hands. And now at the end of 73 years, and on this day, the heiau and its royal priesthood finally disappear as an organized force. The inexorable law of evolution withdraws the native from his long dominance and forces the American and his allies to the front with a demand for a new declaration of principles. The Anglo-Saxon and his allies, with the best thought of civilization behind them, and trained in the best use of political machinery, may demonstrate to the world that they can hold the supreme power, at first for the good of all, and gradually educate and lead the men of other races up to their own standards of good government, and finally and safely distribute that power among all races. We solemnly declare with the experience of 100 years behind us, that minorities in number have the inalienable right to good government, and they are commissioned to secure and maintain it, holding themselves responsible to God and their own consciences for the just and proper use of the power organized and used to obtain it.
Time may wear off the feeling of emergency, but my dear flag may remain in my heart forever. O ko aloha no, ai ai kalani, a o ko oia I o he molele ho'i.
Kanikapu. Kanikapu. Kanikapu.
Harai ponoi nanai komoi kalani ali ke ali makualani e kameha meha e na kaua e pale me ka ihe harai I ponoi nanai nali na pua komuli na poki e kalahu e o ka uhana nui he ui e makualani e kameha meha e na kaua e pale me ka ihe
Pai Klima. Eo. Ea. Eo. Ea. How's about a round of applause for our wonderful cast members? Give it up for our cast members, everybody. Give it up to Molly Ned Cruz for being the ihe behind this event. Chanti Noi Noi Silva. To Meliana Myers. To my partner in crime, Brother Imai Kalani Winchester, everybody. And give it up for our media crew over there, Kanayo Kona, as well as Oren Tsutsumi, Azaal, and Mikey Inouye over there. How's everybody feeling? Thank you guys. So this has concluded the reenactment of Theft of a Nation. So once again, pai limu to our cast members, everybody. Right on, everybody. Once again, give it up for our entire cast members, everybody. And I hope you folks got inspired. And thank you to the crowd for being so receptive to showing you mana'o. Thank you guys so very much. We're going to be having a kukakuka tent in this tent at noon as well as 1:15. It's going to be talking about the geothermal that it's plaguing Moku Kiave as well as other things. And we're going to shift over to my partner in crime, Mike Kalani Winchester, with music and speakers. We have some awesome speakers that will be coming up to inspire everybody. Please stay hydrated. And we got the porta potties in the back by the banyan tree in the back. And with that, Imai, do you have the system on over there, brother? So our first musician that's going to come on in a little bit is the one, the only, Hanu Hanu Award recipient, Brother Del Beasley. He'll be showing us some love. But with that being said, thank you guys. How's everybody feeling? Kaumaha. Energized. A beautiful day in the kingdom, everybody. If you folks don't know the person next to you, around you, please introduce yourself and show your aloha, everybody. Right on. We love each and every one of you guys. Awesome job. I want to give a big shout out also to my friend Stephen Young for the sounds. Can you give him a round of applause, everybody? And by the way, he's also a Hawk from Nanakuli, but he's also, his middle name, his Kanaka name is Leo Kieke, my Kalani, because that brother can Leo Kieke. So mahalo nui, brother Stephen. Del, you guys ready pretty soon? Ma, Lynette, do you have anything you want to say? All right. All right, everybody. We got speakers and we have music. So please stick around, and I'm glad you folks are here. If you don't know anybody, make yourself known, introduce yourself with aloha. We have the 2 porta potties in the back, and I believe we have some food over there, all the way at the ending by Richard Street. So mahalo nui, everybody. Mahalo nui.
It's not a global shutter. That's what I heard. Thank you so much.
They won't update the FX3 without. It's kind of like how whenever there's an update of like the MacBook Pro, there's going to be an update of the MacBook Air. Yeah, it's so much invested in this. Absolutely. And it's going to be the same. Or every single else. I already tried to compose for it anyway, you know. Well, if you're thinking of it, yeah, for sure. The extra K I could care less about. I think that's just because it's
I put it on barely legal sound. What time is it? Okay, I'll point at you.
I better lose some weight. It was so tight. I'm so sorry. I was like, no. The names were like crumpled, and I was like, hold it this way. Oh, they're fine. Okay, stand like this.
You look so good.
Thank you.
Outside of this whole
Thank you.
situation.
I should have picked one up to save this, but I didn't do much time with you on the last one. So I was like, oh, yeah. We'll just go. Good thing I was going to throw this shirt away.
Oh, right on. No,
Good thing I checked it.
everything together. Yeah. See you, right? Take care. If I do find anything in terms of like, I don't know what specifically we're looking for, but you know, because like for my friends have been trying Do you want to watch this while I transfer? I need. Okay, I'm gonna.
Behavioral health and like care navigation, facilitation for Canada, stuff like that. I did was a teacher, so I did that. Grad school stuff was public policy.
Is that Ida? Hi, Ida. Oh, sorry. Hi, long time no see.
It's like, uh-oh, there's somebody I know. Bye.
Are we moving? Do we need help?
Keep an eye on that. Yeah, so you switch this, and then you can move it. So yeah, this one is on the barely can use. I'm gonna try.
Oh, yeah, because they have a whole system. And I usually just, I don't know, but they have a thing with like something plug.
I think you're getting into the Christmas.
What's that? Oh, shoot. Which stream? Oh, wow. I'm on the live stream.
Enough for like.
Oh, which one is this? It looks new. What model is this, Oren?
Hey guys, you're in the feed.
They're fine. No, they're fine.
Are you hungry at all?
Me?
Well, there's ones that are kind of like very hot.
Did you want me to do some interviews?
Okay, you let me know.
Yeah. Try to plug this in.
I'm waiting for
On the hot shoe.
see how much
Yep. Azaal.
We'll have to catch up. Yeah, let's catch up. Dude, thank you for everything. Great to see you. Glad to see you.
Yeah, I try. I can't plug in anymore. I'm gonna try to switch over. Oh, thanks for getting me. Just like Oh. Okay. I'm gonna switch to this guy. What's that? Might as well he never got to use it.
Oh,
he just gets. They just release it to him because he's in Italy and it seems chic.
Yeah.
But he just has all the stuff with swing.
Oh, okay. So an extra centimeter all the way around.
Yeah.
And it will be open gate.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay. 3 by 2. 3 by 2.
They're gonna continue to lead back to that.
Finally.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to make it like a mini map. Exactly.
But it's like,
Cut out a lot of the market share. I guess, yeah, but it's like if you have to decide between, hey,
the kids cannot even come out here. So you have lanes across the border, and this is all a shit show.
I'm still doing the flyers. Flyers. Conceivably, I could still roll over there. I've done it before, but it's like harrowing. Did you think of getting those Oswald? You need help? You need help.
No, I get the reviews. I have the holy grail of the name. Yeah.
probably it's good to face this way.
I don't know.
I'll convince them.
You want to talk to Auntie Ruth?
I'll convince them.
Because I think Auntie Ruth was going to ask someone else.